Howdy gents, wanted to come and do a quick video to show you how to use propane to fill your gas blowback rifles. This is going to be a really nice economical option because with the gas blowback rifles in particular, you go through a lot of gas. It gets really expensive if you're using green gas. Here in the States, a bottle of green gas is like 10 bucks, 12 bucks. And that's for an 8-ounce bottle of green gas versus a can of propane at the store is usually about $5 or $6. And it's 16 ounces. So you're getting 4 times as much for the money, right? It's twice as cheap and it's twice as much. Now that's pretty economical right there. But if you want to take it even further, you can do what I do, which is refill my little camping tanks and my blowtorch tanks off of a big barbecue tank. So this is a 20-pound standard propane tank. You can fill those for usually about $20, $25 anywhere that does it. So I equate that to about, let's just say, $1 a pound. So now instead of spending, $10 a pound or actually be $20 a pound with green gas, it would be $5 a pound with typical tanks. Now it's down to $1 a pound. So you save a ton of money, so that's great. But even honestly, almost more important than that, it's very convenient. I used to have to run around town looking for propane, day before game day or day of, and sometimes they'd be sold out, and I'd be running around 2 or 3 stores, and it was just a major pain. So this way, you always have your supply at home, and you can just refill your own tanks. Obviously, you have to stock up on some tanks to be able to refill them in the first place. That's good. It's always good to have. And these things don't last forever. Honestly, there can be one thing to always look out for. I've had this where you're in a game, and then you put your propane adapter on, which is this guy right here. This is what fills the magazine from these guys. And then you're filling the mag and it just squirts out gas. 9 times out of 10, what's going on? I used to think it was something wrong with my adapter, but it turned out, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little plastic ring in there and there's an O-ring under that. Sometimes those things get shot out, just using these a lot, refilling them, using them with those propane adapters. That stuff can come out. And if it does, then these will just vent gas when you use those mini propane adapters. So if that's the case, if you happen to find it, you can try to shove it back in there. Otherwise, I just kind of toss them and buy a new tank. So that's something to think about. So yeah, let's get to it. So basically, to do this, all you're gonna need is this guy. They sell this on Amazon for like $10. I think it's called Gas Pro, is like the whatever Chinese brand name. But if you just look up propane adapter, it'll probably pop up, and it's a 20-pound to 1-pound adapter. So this big end obviously goes on your main tank. Just make sure it's nice and secure, and then your little tank screws in here. So to do this, you want to have like a table like this, something elevated. Probably be good to have somewhere you can ventilate in case gas starts spewing. I mean, be safe with this, guys. I don't want to I don't take any responsibility for anything you guys do messing around with propane, okay? Don't be lighting matches. Let's just be smart with this stuff, but it's pretty straightforward. But the main thing is, so this has to be upside down, and these have to be very cold. So what I do is I throw these in the freezer for like 10-15 minutes. That's good enough. And so they're very cold. And that heat difference is what allows the temperature difference is what allows the heat transfer, or the transfer of gas to occur. If that's room temperature and that's room temperature, nothing's gonna flow because there's not enough pressure, or whatever science. I don't really understand it, but I messed up like that at first, and I realized, oh, you got to throw them in the freezer, and now it works beautifully. So yeah, like this guy's already got cold, so we're just gonna thread him in. Sometimes it's a little tricky with these threads. I like to use gloves just because the tanks are cold, and just to be safe again, if gas starts spraying, I don't know, it shouldn't. And then you just turn the valve. Okay, and now you can audibly hear the gas is filling, right? So usually this takes, 15-30 seconds. Pretty much just go until it stops filling. Shut off the valve all the way. Again, be careful, and then before you pop this out. So that sounds pretty full. Let's just go ahead and cap that off. make sure you close this all the way. And I'm just going to unscrew this. Sometimes you get a little pop. Oop, just like that. There you go. Free propane source. So again, it's really nice, really convenient. You don't got to chase around town. One, just the pain in the ass factor, but two, like during the summertime, sometimes you can't even find these things. Like everyone is camping, doing barbecuing and stuff, and these Coleman green tanks are like literally off. They're sold out everywhere, Walmart, Home Depot, whatever. If that's the case, a little trick for you, forgot to mention earlier, is to look for these blowtorch tanks. They are, Home Depot sells them, but they're usually in a separate aisle by the tools, by the blowtorches, and it's propane. So it says right there. But yeah, most guys that go there they look for these green Coleman tanks, and it's in a different section, so they don't even think about these. And so I've had it where they're sold out of the greens for like weeks on end, but there's always a supply of these blue tanks. So the other nice thing about these blue tanks is that they fit better in assault packs or just rucksacks in general. Just having that longer cylindrical shape, I just find it kind of fits better in your packs and stuff. So bonus points there. But yeah, I hope that helps you guys if you were wondering about this. Laters.